Peace, peace, peace. I am Phillip Roundtree, and you are tuned into the July 3rd edition of Rhetorically Speaking. Props to the people who are watching on Facebook Live. Listen, it's Friday. Ain't got no job. I'm just out here because I don't typically record on Fridays, but it's been a lot going on. I'll get into that. But shout out to the people who are in the crib chilling like me. They not trying to catch that Rona, even though it's 99.999% outside. It's like a Maury paternity test when you are the father. Shout out to y'all who are watching on YouTube Live. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and props to the people who are watching on IG. I ain't giving y'all that much burn today. So we're going to get right into it, man. The reason why I decided to have this special show, it shouldn't go too long, just because what's been happening in the world of sports and the intersection of sports, social justice, race and ethnicity, gender. It's just so much taking place right now. So I'm like, you know what? I ain't got nothing else to do, right? But I was just sitting in there playing Call of Duty and just chilling. So I'm like, why not? Why not? So I'm gonna give it a few more minutes before I get to the business. Maybe a few more people might come in. If not, then we just gonna rock out like we rock out. But yes, it's super hot outside, and I'm not one to turn on my central air. However, I turned it on. Right, and I turned it on because listen, man, I'm not trying to die. I'm not trying to have this little puppy, these animals die. Y'all not calling Peter on me. So we're gonna get started, man. So the first conversation I wanted to have is in relation to the NFL and just their shenanigans that's taking place. So I talked about yesterday with regards to the Washington Redskins, again, the Washington football pro team, which we should be calling it because we know Redskins is a ethnic slur. But the heat is on. The heat is on. Yesterday I talked about how Nike, FedEx, and Pepsi each received letters signed by 87 investment firms and shareholders worth a combined $620 billion. That's B with a billion with a B, asking the company to sever ties with the name, asking them to sever ties with the Redskins unless they change their controversial name. We know that the Washington football franchise's owner, Dan Snyder, back in 2013, he said, nah, I'm going to make it do what it do. Right? I'm going to make it do what it do. I'm keeping this because it's my team. Right? And I do what I want. I don't have to capitulate to anybody. Listen, some few hours later, Nike's like, we're taking everything that's related to the Washington Deadskins off our website. FedEx, they come out and say, listen, we strongly suggest that you change your name. Now we know money talks, right? $280 million, I believe they paid for the name. And so they're saying, listen, we strongly recommend that you change your name. And so like I said yesterday, man, money matters. And when you start messing up the money, that's when change starts to happen. Or you start destroying ish. So the Washington Redskins came out today with they came out with an announcement, right? They came out with a statement rather. And it said, in light of recent events around our country and feedback from our community, the Washington Redskins are hold on one sec. Yo, I'm on the air. What up? All right. Like, what's up with people? Like, what's going on with people? Like, that's how you got to hit them. Like, yo, I'm on the air. I holla at you. But they said they're announcing that the team will undergo a thorough review of the team's name. Right? In the statement, they said Redskins several times, which shows that, again, they don't necessarily get it. They don't necessarily get it. They're saying that they've been in discussion with the NFL for weeks about the name, but here you are in this statement still referencing the name. So again, you don't get it. What you're feeling is you're feeling pressure. You're feeling heat, which we know you're being shamed into potentially changing your behavior. Again, shame can change behavior, right? But is it that long-lasting change that we desire? Well, it changed the hiring practices. that takes place with the Washington Redskins, in particular the NFL? I don't know. I don't necessarily see that impacting, but what it will do, it will change how the Washington football franchise is viewed from a social justice perspective, from a social perspective. We know as a football team they're trash, right? And they've been trash since Daniel Snyder's have owned the team. But as I discussed yesterday, where he is now, it looks like he's going down as being both a loser in the field of sports and then socially a loser as well, right? So he's going to go down as being considered a racist. I don't think that's going to change because he has been defiant and he has pushed back on requests. He has fought legally against those who requested that the name be changed. And so now with FedEx and Nike backing away from the team name and others following suit, what is that going to look like for Washington? A lot of football insiders think that the name change is going to take place before the season, if the season even starts. Why? Because it's that serious. It's that serious, and they believe the backlash to the league is going to be again monumental, and it's going to be. They're already in a negative light when we talk about Black Lives Matter and we talk about what they've done to Kaepernick now for the last 3 to 4 years. And so this is just adds more fuel to the fire of the protesters and those who continue to speak out against the NFL. And we know, again, it's about that bottom line. Speaking of the bottom line, lift every voice and sing. Till earth and heaven rings. Okay, yeah, I don't know the Negro the Negro national anthem. I don't. I know how I feel it though. I feel it in my spirit. I feel the ancestors inside me when it's playing. And so now what the NFL is going to do is before all week 1 games and before the white people national anthem, they're going to play the black national anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. Again, we didn't ask you for this, NFL. What some people asked was give Cap a job. Make the playing field level so he can have a real opportunity. What we asked for you not to have the Rooney Rule, or to at least enforce it. Have some more black and brown folk and women within your organization. We're not asking you for the Lift Every Voice and Sing. We didn't ask you for that. But again, it's like you're doing everything, and this is what white folk are doing. They're doing everything else. Right? They're doing everything else. But what they truly can do, rounding up those owners and saying, listen, this has to change. This is unacceptable. To have X amount of head coaches and them be black, brown, or other. Or only 2 decision makers when we talk about presidents and we talk about general managers. It might be more than 2, but you get what I'm saying. We didn't ask you to play the Negro national anthem before the white folks won. What do you think that's going to do? Is that going to ingratiate y'all to us? You think black folk who really care about the Lift Every Voice and Sing are going to find themselves back to the NFL? Dr. Greg Carr, who is a Howard professor, he said, listen, for those of us who know the second and third stanzas of it, you think we was watching the NFL anyway? No, because it's a certain level of blackness that exists if you're going to sing the second and third stanzas of the Negro national anthem. And so again, when we talk about police brutality, we talk about, again, I feel like it's becoming cliche when we say systemic and institutional racism. So, we're talking about education, we're talking about police brutality, we're talking about the wealth gap, we're talking about various things. when we use those terms. Playing Lift Every Voice and Sing does nothing. The coach of the Carolina Panthers considering kneeling for the first game of the season. That does nothing to help the plight of black and brown folk. This symbolic nonsense that's taken place across major sports is meaningless. It's meaningless. You're putting lipstick on a pig. Regardless, it's still a pig. So yeah, unfortunately, you're going to have some black folk who come and they're going to find themselves watching it just to hear the Negro National Anthem. And they might stick around for the game. But those of us who are really in the trenches, we're like, what the fuck is this? We see through you. We see through what it is that you're doing. This doesn't help anybody. This doesn't help the causes that we continue to speak out against. And so at some point, you're going to wake up. But I'm not convinced of that. Why? Because then we have the NBA, who's the most Negro-friendly league that exists. I ain't got to put the logo up. You know what it is. The NBA came out today. And they said, listen, we want to be a part of this social justice movement. And we recognize it's a pivotal time. And so once we restart in the next couple of weeks, when the games finally start at the end of July, we're going to allow players to put slogans on their jerseys. And then they drop the list of approved social messages. Black Lives Matter. Cool. Say their names. Whose names? Vote. Okay. I can't breathe. Still? Justice. What type of justice are we asking for? Peace. Who's asking for peace? Equality. Okay. Freedom. Who are we asking for freedom from? Who are we asking this to? Enough. Gotcha. Power to the people. Justice now. Y'all know I don't think there can ever be justice based off what's happened to black folk for hundreds of years. Say her name. Oh, so we get a little specific now. Not say their names, but say her name. Si se puede. I'm going to say that again because I took Spanish 3 times in college. Si se puede. Which means yes, we can. We can what? Liberation. Okay. See us. Hear us. Respect us. Love us. Listen. Listen to us. What the fuck are you talking about? Why are you begging white folk to see you, to hear you, to respect you, to love you, to listen to us? This respectability shit is going crazy. We've tried that. Some people still out here trying that. They putting their 3-piece suits on. We're speaking properly. We're going to their institutions to get their degrees. So we can be indoctrinated into their world. So why the fuck do I need to see this on the back of a jersey? Excuse my language. I meant to say that. See us, hear us, respect us, love us, listen to us. And that's why I play that James Baldwin clip at the end. Because it ain't about all that at this stage of the game. We taking what's rightfully ours. We gonna live here together. Or we gonna die here together. No see us, no hear me. Those who know to see me, who want to see me and hear me, they do. I'm not asking NFL owners to see me. I'm not asking the NBA to hear me. I'm about to go to Kutztown University. I don't give a damn. I'm not asking you to see me or hear me. Because y'all gonna feel me. Like the great ghetto philosopher Beanie Siegel said, you gonna get down and you gonna lay down. Point blank. But let's get back to it. Stand up. Ally. Anti-racist. I am a man. I am a man. Speak up. How many more? Group economics. Education reform. And mentor. I'd rather just see their last names on the back of the jerseys. I'm not trying to see these messages. I'm not trying to see grown men plead to oppressors. Now, maybe one could argue that you're trying to encourage a community. But, bruh, I'm black too, so I already hear you. I already feel you. I already see you. I already empathize. We already done trauma bonded 500 years ago, 600 years ago. We done did that already. Who you telling I am a man to? Why do you feel compelled to tell them that you are a man? They need to feel that you are a man, that you are a person, that you are a woman. They gotta feel that. How many more? Then you get mad when they give you an answer. You get mad when your president come out and start saying and spitting whatever nonsense that he does. He telling you how many more. We know how many more. We know it's going to be tens, hundreds, and thousands more. That's the game, baby. So don't give me how many more. Start telling folk no more. Or these are the consequences and repercussions. You either going to get down or you going to lay down. We either going to live here together or we going to die here together. It's as simple as that. But see, what that takes is something that's inside. Beyond the tweets. I love what Bron do. I love how vocal he is. He gonna be a $1 billion athlete. Stop saying how many more and just say, you know what, I'm taking my ball and I'm going somewhere else. Have an imagination. You ain't gotta beg. Like I tell folk when I'm having these conversations on mental health, you the commodity. You the commodity. You worrying about what everybody else thinks when you're the commodity. But maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me that feel that way. So nah, I'm not with that. I got half of mine not to even watch. Taisha Williams says, why do they think we are so delusional as black folk? Listen, because it's ingrained in us. It's ingrained in us. We desire, and I forget who said it, we desire what the white man has. And I'm no different. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm holier than thou. The educational system, the way it's constructed, that they constructed, in order to maximize dollars, means that I got to go get a PhD. I don't have to. But it's something I'm choosing to do, right? But see, now my goal has shifted somewhat. Because now, unfortunately, I gotta have that to get to the black folk in the arena that I desire. We're going to keep it moving, man, because I'm hot. I'm hot. It's 90 degrees. Y'all feel me? Even if it's only deuce y'all watching. We're going to get the Maker. And I'm going to touch on this briefly. So Maker is a 5-star recruit. He just committed to go to Howard University at HBCU that is located in Washington, D.C. It is like the Stanford of HBCUs, right? Because you got to always compare it to their white counterparts. It's the creme de la creme. You got like Spelman, you got Morehouse, you got Howard. Those are your notable Negro institutions. And so Maker, who is the cousin of Thon Maker, who plays in the NBA for the Detroit Pistons, he committed to go to Howard University. He said, I was the first to announce my visit to Howard, and others started to dream, what if? I need to make the HBCU movement real so that others will follow. I hope I inspire guys like Mikey Williams to join me on this journey. I am committing to Howard U and Coach Kenny Blakeney. Listen, salute to him. Salute to him. I feel like he's missing out on a couple dollars, right? Because we know that when you're a 5-star recruit, there's some perks that come with that when you go to predominantly white institutions. Because black folk at one point did used to go to HBCUs. Are great athletes. But then once that money started rolling in, once we started seeing that draft status could be impacted by where you go, again, they followed that path. And so this can mean so much. This can mean so much in the movement. See, right now he's an outlier. But if he performs, and he performs, and the team performs, he could then become a trendsetter. Right? And then if more and more start to come, not only the Mikeys and your 5-star recruits, but your 4-star recruits, your 3-star recruits, then you become a trailblazer. See, but right now we still in that outlier category. Listen, they're going to have to produce. He's going to have to be a top 5, top 10 pick, a lottery pick at least in the NBA draft. But the fact of the matter is, he's already enrolled in the NBA draft, so he could have committed to Howard. But if he gets information saying that he'll be a first-round pick, he can never play for Howard. He might go into the NBA draft. Well, he might be selected if he decides to stay in October. Now, hope is that he's not. And he continues to hone his skills. But this could shift. It could be a seismic shift. Again, because where else better to play with people who understand you? I mean, it's still a money maker. You know, colleges are still money makers. right? No matter if it's a PWI, predominantly white institution, or a historically black college or university, it's still about money is the bottom line. And so by going to Howard, who's a D1 college already, who has amazing alumni from Diddy to Taraji P. Henson to so many others, they can afford to have him there in more ways than one. But again, if we're starting to see this trend, and they can't just go to Howard University, they've got to start going to the South Carolina States, the Cheney universities. They got to start going to these different places if they really want to make a dent in what's happening with the PWIs. But again, I'm hopeful. Because again, this could be big. And salute to him, man. Salute to him for making that because it's not an easy decision. Because if you go to UCLA, you go to Kentucky and places like this, they're going to put you in a spot just by notoriety and name alone to be selected first round of the NBA draft. Howard, you working from a deficit. Why? Because the competition isn't necessarily top tier. But again, if we're having this conversation in 10 years, we could be saying the opposite. So salute the maker for making that decision. Let's see. We'll see what the comments saying, because I'm just rolling. Zacchaeus says, but the whole point is to change the trajectory. Again, there's a lot riding on him. He has to be beyond great. He can't just be good. Or the HBCUs need to really step up their recruitment, which costs money. They got to get to the NAACP tournament, the NCAA tournament. They have to have facilities that aren't not necessarily on par with your Alabamas or with your Kentuckys or what have you. But it can't be your local LA Fitness. That's for sure. Marcel Davis says, I think the blueprint is D1 basketball. So, yeah, that's real. And last but not least, we showing love to Maya Moore. Yeah, I told you I'm getting in and getting out. Listen, man, she's an amazing woman. An amazing woman who put her dream on hold. I don't even say she put her dream on hold, because this could very well be her dream as well. See, a lot of times we think that athletes, they're one-trick ponies, that they're monoliths, that they only see life from the viewpoint of being an athlete, and that's all that they ever want to do. But 2 years ago, Maya Moore sat out. And again, we're talking about she's an MVP, won championships. She decided to sit out to help this guy named Jonathan Irons, who'd been handed a 50-year sentence for burglary and assaulting a homeowner with a gun some 22 years ago, right? So she wanted to do some social justice work and advocate on his behalf. And so she put her career to the side and said, listen, I'm taking on this advocacy role. And so in March, his conviction was overturned, and he was just released yesterday. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole Jonathan Irons perspective of it, right? Where we talk about, we understand how effed up the criminal justice system is. Because there was no evidence. There was nothing really tying him to the crime. But yet again, we know what it's like for a black man to be once you get in front of these all-white juries, it get involved with this legal system. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, how many more education reform, speak up? What does that do for Jonathan Irons? Maya Moore said, listen, I could play ball. I done did everything over there. This is where I'm needed. And so I'm appreciative of the Queen. So they were on ABC's Good Morning America yesterday. And she said she finally felt like she could rest after standing for so long. It was an unplanned moment where I just felt relief, and it was kind of a worshipful moment. Again, man, salute to her. Salute to her. All right, I'm out of here. I'll get back to this on Monday with hashtag You Good Man Monday. So I'll catch up with y'all. Peace.